officially 8:30 this morning, 8:30 Eastern time, it was announced that we had our second consecutive negative quarter of GDP in the U.S. economy. That has been the technical definition of a recession for probably 100 years, probably a century or so. That's what everyone has always said. We've got evidence of that. We'll show you in just a second. But not our people in charge right now. Here's black lesbian Karine Jean-Pierre. She is the White House press secretary, and she's telling Peter Doocy that the thing that we've always known is not really the thing.
If things are going so great, though, then why is it the White House officials are trying to redefine recession?
No, we're not redefining recession.
If we all understand a recession to be 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth in a row, and then you have White House officials come up here to say, no, that's not what a recession is. It's something else. How is that not redefining recession?
Because that's not the definition. That is not the definition.
Brian Deese said in 2008, of course, economists have a technical definition, which is of a recession, which is 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth.
I can tell you this.
Yesterday he said 2 negative quarters of GDP growth is not the technical definition of a recession.
It is
What
not.
changed?
It is not.
Why did he say that
It
was?
is not. I can
What's the difference
I can
other
speak to what he said yesterday in front of all of you, which is the last thing that you just repeated. There are many factors. Economic factors and indicators to consider, and I will say that the textbook definition of recession is not 2 negative quarters of GDP.
Okay, so you know, she just lies. Like, they're so in the lies, it's all they can do. She never actually, we watched the full clip, she never actually explains then, if it's not the common definition of 2 consecutive quarters of the GDP shrinking, that if that's not the definition of recession, what it is. But what's interesting that Peter Doocy, who is just fantastic, I mean, he really, out of all the people in the White House press corps, he's just doing a great job for Fox, and he's really the only one asking these direct questions. He brings up this guy, Brian Deese, who is Joe Biden's the head of the National Economic Council. He's the director. Here's the exact quote. This is what Doocy read, but I just thought it was worth showing you guys again. This is the guy that's in charge of the National Economic Council right now for Joe Biden. Well, what did he say back in March of 2008? Economists have a technical definition of recession, which is 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. This is the guy who's in charge of the thing for the elderly man pretending to be president right now. He's also a BlackRock guy, but that's a little sidebar thing. But the point is that they are going to try to change the definition of words right now. These are the same people who try to change the definition of everything, right? Boys are girls, 2 + 2 is 5. Just being non-racist is actually being racist, and the rest of those things. And you can now watch, what's fascinating, this is what we're going to get to in a second, is now watching the entire machine just do it right in front of us. And this is what they do all the time. They do the magic trick right in front of us, even though we know how they're doing the magic trick, and yet a certain amount of people still get bamboozled by it.